This program is brought to you by the University of Southern Queensland.
That was Sunday by Jessica Mauboy, so conveniently.
So conveniently.
Because...
Oh, yeah, true.
Yeah.
Very true.
Yeah,
because I think about it.
we're going to talk about Eurovision right now.
We are. I'm excited.
I'm excited. And, of course, Jessica Mauboy was in Eurovision last year. But
Was
joining
it
us...
last year?
Yeah, last year.
Oh.
So joining us today, we've got our local Eurovision expert, Dr Jess Carniel, who's a USQ researcher and humanities lecturer. She's also written a book about Eurovision called Understanding the Eurovision Song Contest in Multicultural Australia. Jess, how are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, we're good.
Yeah,
pretty
not
good.
bad.
Not bad.
It's a bright morning.
Bright morning with us boys.
Yeah, the bright morning with the boys.
So, of course, we just had semi-finals one with Eurovision. What are your thoughts? How do you think it went?
I think it was an absolutely wonderful show.
Mm-hmm.
A bit of a bloodbath. I know quite a few fan favourites didn't get through, but a few fan favourites did get through, and importantly for a lot of us out there, Kate Miller-Heidke got through for Australia.
Oh, yeah.
In the grand final.
It was an amazing performance. Like, I saw the Gold Coast when they did it at the Gold Coast. I'm like,
right.
that was pretty good.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it was all right. But then they took it to 100 at the semi-final.
Is it a whole laser light show?
Oh, but like they use like you've obviously seen it, Jess. They use like these visual effects,
I haven't.
I don't know how they do it live, even though it's selling television and stuff like that. But it's like with visual effects, like computer generated stuff.
Yeah,
Like
so
with
they
the whole
have this really amazing screen behind her. It's
Yeah.
got I think it's the most pixels per, millimeter or whatever. I'm not quite sure, but it's apparently this really, really high-tech screen they've got behind her, and they're projecting sort of cosmic images, so
Yeah, wow.
stars and the world itself beneath her. So
Yeah.
it's really quite ethereal and stunning.
beautiful.
And then she's there waving on a pole above it all.
Oh, dear. Well, Jess, Nick, you said actually that both of you had seen it. I actually haven't. So, Jess, I wanted to point this to you. For the uninitiated, of us out there, what sort of explain Eurovision, what it's about, why it's a brief history, I suppose, of Eurovision, because I know nothing about it. I haven't seen it ever. I have only heard snippets of it from the likes of Nick. And
Missing out.
yeah. It
Well,
seems
first
like
of all, you've got a little bit of homework, and I expect you to watch something about it this weekend.
Oh, absolutely. I've heard high things about this semi-final that just passed, so I'm keen to see the grand final, actually.
Yeah, I really recommend it, whether you get up at 5 a.m. or you watch the delayed broadcast. But a Cliff Notes version of the Eurovision Song Contest is that it's a song contest that has been running since 1956. So it's one of the longest running song contests. There's one that's been running longer.
Oh.
And it brings together essentially the countries of Europe to compete in a night of song to find their favourite song of the year. And it has to be an original song
I
that
see.
has a limited period in which it can be released. So the current rules are that it's from the 1st of September, which is also known as Eurovision New Year amongst fans.
I see. Okay.
So the song has to be released in a particular period,
Right.
and then they all come together for 3 nights. You've got 2 semi-finals and then the grand final that everyone goes through, and we determine through a split between a jury vote and a public vote who has the best song of the contest for the year.
Oh, cool. That's really interesting. But that's something I wanted to pick up, actually, on that. Because you said European countries, right? And
Yes.
to me, the last time I checked, Australia's not a European country. So why are we a part of it? Because is it because
Yeah.
we're part of the Commonwealth, or were, or because
No.
I know nothing about it. So why is that? Why is that?
Well, I was a bit cagey about saying European there because technically the qualifying countries that can go into the Eurovision Song Contest are those that belong to the European Broadcasting Area. They're full members
Oh,
of the European Broadcasting Union.
Right.
But if you look at that membership list and you look at that broadcasting area, which is a geographical limitation to how far they can broadcast easily, it actually includes the Middle East and Northern Africa.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah, so countries like Morocco can participate, and they have participated once in the past. Israel also is not geographically part of Europe.
Ah, I see.
And obviously it's hosting this year. Azerbaijan also is considered Eurasia, so it's in an area that's neither Europe nor Asia.
Yeah.
but it's not necessarily seen as a European country. So the reason why Australia is participating is that we have been, or our broadcasters have been an associate member of the European Broadcasting Union since 1950.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And SBS, as soon as it became a thing, joined up the EBU as well.
Ah, true.
So
That's
as an associate member, we're allowed to ask if we can play.
okay.
And the EBU said yes.
Okay. So countries like America can't do it, can they? Or can they? I have no idea.
They do have associate member broadcasters that are part of it, but they do have to be public broadcasters. So, your cable channels can't participate.
Yeah. That's fair
But
enough.
in theory, yes.
Okay.
An American broadcaster, a Canadian broadcaster, a New Zealand broadcaster, they can all apply to participate.
That's cool. I just really quickly wanted to ask, why is it such a contentious opinion for Australia to be a part of it? Because I saw a post from a friend on Facebook, and he just resolutely said Australia should not be a part of Eurovision, and a lot of people angry reacted it on Facebook because a lot of people obviously are very strongly opinionated on it, and that's fair enough. It seems like a lark, but I don't understand why people hate it so much.
It really is because of that idea that it is a European Song Contest. And historically, it has really framed itself that way, and you do have Euro in the title.
Yeah.
But the Eurovision, it is just a brand that refers to a specific broadcasting channel on both radio and TV.
Yeah.
That's all it's referring to.
Okay.
And when you look at who can participate, there's never really been a finite geographical limitation to it. So it's just a perception.
Yeah.
And people hold that really quite dearly.
Yeah, that's fair
But
enough.
according to the rules, we can.
Yeah, that was something that always confused me as someone who never knew about it. It's like, if it's Eurovision, why are people not in Europe able to participate? But I'm glad you cleared that up. Thank you.
Now you know.
Now I know.
Yeah.
Now I know.
That's
Now
what
I can
you learned today.
Now I can see it with a new instilled vigor.
But for this year, do you have a favorite act so far for this year? But like if I'm semi-final one or it's not performed yet or anything like that?
I did have a soft sentimental favourite, which is Hungary's Josip Papai, who didn't get in. He was a non-qualifier, and the reason why I had a soft spot for him was he competed in 2017 and came in the top 10. It was one of the most amazing, heart-wrenchingly wonderful performances. He's an incredible talent, so it was sad to not see him go through.
Yeah, it sounds unfortunate.
Yeah, it was really unfortunate. Georgia also did an amazing performance, and I felt ought to have gone through but didn't. But my favourite for this year is actually Latvia with a song called Last Night by Carousel. And it's just a nice little ditty, and I just really, really like it. Cool. But I do also like Spain's Lavender as my favourite bop of the year because it's just so happy.
That's fair enough. So you recommend those to someone like me who hasn't seen it? So Latvia and what was the second one?
Spain.
Spain.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably not for the uninitiated. I do think that your musical tastes get a little bit
thrown in the deep
broadened.
end.
I'm not going to say skewed. They get broadened by watching Eurovision because it's a different kind of pop.
Oh, yeah.
And it is really well worth plugging into.
For sure.
Well,
I'm definitely going to.
You might have slightly different taste to me.
Yeah, you could I really like Iceland's performance this year. You don't know what I'm talking about.
No, I have no idea. You're talking to a brick wall, mate.
Start with Iceland. Yeah.
Yes.
Is that a heavily opinionated?
Oh, it's
Iceland?
How would you describe it? Just like this is very interesting.
Is it
they
easily
describe
accessible?
themselves as an anti-capitalist BDSM band.
Excuse me? That was the last thing I expected, to be brutally honest.
And it is, there's a little bit of screaming in there and, really heavy, wonderful electro beat that goes in it as well. And they really put on an amazing show. So they're definitely worth watching.
I mean, if you recommend it, I'll give it a red hot go.
Do. But I recommend the visuals to go along with the audio.
Oh, yes.
Okay,
yes.
I see. So definitely watch the stream of it later on. I'm probably not going to wake up at 5. I won't lie to you to see it.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
I'll watch the stream that they do.
Well, they've already performed, so
I see.
they are in the grand final as well. And Kate Miller-Heidke is quite fond of them. They've become very good friends.
Oh, very nice.
In the process of competing in the contest, and so fingers crossed for some sort of crossover act between them in the future.
Ooh.
Very nice.
Very last thing before we let you go, your amazing book, Understanding the Eurovision Song Contest in Multicultural Australia. We'll give you a quick plug. So where can we find it? What's it about? And all that fun stuff.
Well, you can find it on the publisher's website, which is palgrave.com, and also, I believe, on Amazon. But unfortunately, not in all good bookstores. Academic books are a little bit harder to find than that, but it is available quite easily online, and it is the story of why people in Australia love the Eurovision Song Contest, looking a little bit at its broadcast history here and the way that we have viewing parties and the way that we celebrate through Twitter now online, and what it might mean for Australia's cultural relations with Europe and Asia in the future.
Cool. Well, I think I'm probably going to pick up a copy, to be honest, because that sounds like a good read to someone like me who's never obviously experienced it, really. So I think to hear about the history, as you said, and the cultural significance of it in Australia, I'd be excited to see how it affects people. Because like I said, I've only heard snippets of it from people like Nick and just on the internet, and that fellow that we don't talk about that severely doesn't like it. But no, but it seems interesting.
He's
I think
dead
I'll pick
to us.
it up.
It's okay. It is really important to a lot of people around the world, and they do hold the contest quite dearly.
Yes.
And are very invested in it. So.
Yes. Well, that's fair enough.
But we have to let you go now, unfortunately. Thank you for joining us
Thank
today.
you, Jess.
My pleasure.
Right now, we've got some All-American Rejects with
we?
Gives You Hell. It's been an oldie but a goodie.
Yeah, it is a goodie.
Here on
Phoenix Radio.
Today's world is more competitive, challenges are more complex, industries more rapidly changing, employers more demanding. You need to think bigger, act faster, work smarter. And to do it, you need to be more than skilled, more than relevant, more than qualified, more than confident, more than employable. Become more with the University of Southern Queensland, the #1 uni for graduate employment in Queensland. Apply now at usq.edu.au.